saying? Kid Cudi took the stand today. A lot of people was doubting the fact that he was going to show up. Apparently, Soulja Boy had something to say to DDG because he broke up with his girl, and we had Meek Mill, you know what I mean, had tweeted out and deleted some of the craziest shit that he said he seen at a Diddy party. Prosecute him for anything illegal that he may say have happened. You know what I mean? And that was the only way he was gonna come and testify a little bit about what happened and why he was in jail in England. You know what I'm saying? The video started. Yo, what's up? What's happening? What's going on? What's going on? Thursday, you know what I'm saying? Thursday, May 22nd. You know what I mean? It's Thursday, May 22nd, 3:21 in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? It is cooling down today. You know what I mean? It's a nice little cool day today. It ain't too hot like it has been. You know what I'm saying? The temperature definitely been on the rise out this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be 83 today. You know what I mean? 83 at its highest. It's 83 right now. You know what I mean? 83 degrees. So cool little day. You know what I mean? It ain't too hot. Ain't too cold. You know what I'm saying? It's nice and fair. Like I said, it's one of the days you can go for a walk. Take your dog for a walk. Take your kids outside. Take them for a walk around the block or something. It's that type of weather. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, though, how y'all doing? You know what I mean? On this fine Thursday. You feel me? This is the pre-weekend before the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Hope all y'all been doing cool. You know what I mean? If this your first time here, you just hit the subscribe button. It's your first episode. If you don't know what goes on, this is where we cover headlines and news and shit that's going on. Cases, the Diddy case, and all this kind of shit. Updates with these celebrities and the hip-hop artists and rappers and all that. If it done made a headline somewhere, I'm probably covering and touching on it right here on Kons podcast. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you're new here, thank you for subscribing. You feel me? Tell somebody else about it. You know what I mean? Let your homie know about it. Let your girl know about it. You feel me? Let your cousin, family members, and all that shit. Let them all know about Kons podcast. You know what I'm saying? Tell them to hit that subscribe button. You feel me? But yeah, though, thank you for tuning in. You feel me? I hope y'all enjoyed yesterday's episode. You know what I'm saying? It was a late one. You feel me? It came out late. I didn't start recording until about 5:30 in the evening. You know what I'm saying? So it was a late episode. Definitely came out real late, about 10, 11 o'clock it dropped. So I hope y'all didn't miss it. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all didn't miss it. You know what I mean? But in case y'all did, you know what I'm saying? We touched on Lil Durk, caught a new charge, threatening witnesses while he in jail now for the murder for hire. You know what I mean? Apparently he been threatening witnesses that's on the case. We touched on Rod Wave, you know what I'm saying? Got arrested with multiple felony accounts and then placed bail and was out of there the same day. We also touched on Kid Cudi, was set to testify. We gonna touch on some more of that today, being that he did testify. A lot of people were saying if he was gonna show up or not, but he showed up. And then we touched on the escort by the name of the Punisher, described his dealing with Diddy and them. Dude named is Sheree Hayes. You know what I'm saying? One of the escorts. That was yesterday's episode. Hope y'all enjoyed episode 250. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all enjoyed episode 250. Like I said, it came out late. I was doing a lot yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to starting on this shit till later on in the day, so it was a late one last night. You know what I mean? But I hope y'all found it. Hope y'all clicked. Hope y'all got y'all bell clicked and the notification hit you when I dropped it, and hopefully you watched it on the late night. But yeah, though, today is gonna be episode 251. You know what I'm saying? Episode 251 today. We're gonna be touching on, you know what I'm saying, Kid Cudi definitely did take that stand. We're gonna touch on what he was talking about on that stand. Also, we're gonna touch on DDG and Soulja Boy been beefing hard, trying to set up a fight and all this type of shit. We're gonna touch on that. Meek Mill said the craziest shit he ever seen at a Diddy party. We're gonna touch on what that craziest shit that he talking about that he seen at a Diddy party. We're also gonna touch on one of his assistants named George Kaplan testified today, but only if he could have immunity in the court. He testified today. And also Chris Brown, who was arrested in England, posted a bail for a certain amount. We're gonna touch on all of that today. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go through these and then we're gonna hit the closing topics at the end of the episode. You know what I mean? If y'all been watching, y'all know how this goes. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So Kid Cudi, you know what I'm saying? Kid Cudi took the stand today. A lot of people was doubting the fact that he was going to show up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people were saying that he wasn't going to show up. He wasn't going to take the stand. But he ended up taking the stand today, and he ended up testifying against his house being robbed. You know what I'm saying? His house being robbed, and also how his car, his Porsche, was blown up, set ablaze. You know what I'm saying? In front of his house, he touched on that and testified against that in the court. You know what I mean? And also said Diddy was acting like a supervillain. said the nigga was in his house and shit. He wanted to confront him. He called Diddy, and Diddy was in his house when he called him. You know what I'm saying? And he said, motherfucker, you in my house? You know what I'm saying? So Kid Cudi pulled up to confront him and shit. And this nigga Diddy was acting like a supervillain, standing in front of the window with his hands behind his back. This nigga was on some other shit, man. So yeah, you know what I mean? He came, spoke out. He also spoke on, you know what I'm saying? They did something to his dog. Put his dog in the bathroom. You know what I mean? When they came and robbed his house, the dog was acting all jittery and scared and jumpy and shit afterwards, after the incident. You know what I'm saying? They had locked him away in the bathroom. They did something to the dog. You know what I mean? But yeah, and he talked about his car being blown up. You know what I'm saying? Touched on that. So this next little clip you about to see is just a woman who was in the courtroom. She gonna break it all down for you. It's not Khadisha Lynn this time. I do have her on some of these videos when we touch on the Diddy case, you feel me? But now, this is a different woman. It's two videos. They're about 4 minutes each. I'm gonna blend them in. It's about 8 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But she gonna definitely let you know on everything that was going on in the courtroom between the judges and Kid Cudi. Check these clips out.
Hold up, let me get this like crystal late.
Honey, are you nervous to testify today? What are you expecting today? You look great.
You look great.
I love the fit. Not too serious.
Pull out for Cudi.
You guys, we were on lunch. Kid Cudi just got off the stand. It was a really long testimony. He was wearing leather jacket, blue jeans, very casual vibes with his appearance. They got straight into the questioning. His demeanor is very kind of casual, like he doesn't want to be there. I don't think anyone that was subpoenaed wanted to be there. The prosecution asked what did he know of their relationship. Cudi said, I knew that they were having problems, their relationship as in Kons and Cassie. They said on December 2011 you responded to a police call that had happened at your house. And he said, yes, they'd had a break-in. Cassie called me at 6 a.m. saying Sean found out about us and wanted to be picked up. He picked her up, but he was confused. And she asked, why were you confused? He said, I didn't think that she was still dealing with him. Cassie was scared because Sean had asked for my address, being Kid Cudi's address, and she gave it to him. She asked, what did Cassie say about Sean and her relationship? And Cudi said that he was abusive. That day of the break-in, he took her to the Sunset Marquee because she thought he would be safe there. And then they asked, who did you speak to on the phone while you were there? And he said, Capricorn. They spoke to her on speakerphone. They asked, what did her voice sound like? He said she sounded scared and like she was on the verge of tears. Capricorn was in the car outside of her house, and Sean Combs was inside. They asked, what did you do after the call? He said he went inside. They gave the address of his house, which was 8925 Hollywood Hills Road. She said, what did you do when you heard about this? He said that I called Sean Combs, and he answered, and he said, mother effer, are you in my house? Sean said, I want to talk to you. Cudi said, I am on my way, and Sean said, I am waiting for you here. He found out that the security cameras weren't working and the angles had all been moved facing away from his front door, which is not how they normally were. They asked what was inside of your house. He said that he had Christmas presents for his family. There were Chanel things. Everything was undone, all the presents, and his dog was locked up in a bathroom where normally he was left to roam. He said the immediate aftermath of his dog was very jittery and on edge all the time. They asked, what did you do after that? Cudi said, I went back to the car and called Sean looking for him. They asked, did he answer? He said, yes, and I was asking, where were you? And Sean said, I'm on my way. And then they asked, what did you do after that? He said, I called the police. They asked, what was the tone of Combs on the phone? He said that he was calm. The police were there when he returned. I really wrote so many notes, you guys, so I'm really just rapid fire reading them. They asked, what was Cassie like later that day? He said, stress. They went to Connecticut for Christmas, and Cudi said that she really needed that for the holidays and that it was good for her. Sean texted Cudi during that time saying, I want to get to the bottom of this. Cudi said, I didn't want to talk, I was done with it. Also, the car caught on fire on January 9th. His dog's babysitter is the one that called in real time saying that your car was on fire. It was in his driveway, just burning, and asked where he was at the time that this was happening. He said his ex-girlfriend's house. His friend Chip sent him photos of the burning car because he was closer to the house. And they had broken into the roof to put in a Molotov cocktail, which is an explosive, and they showed photos. His whole roof was all messed up and broken. The car was all burned. They asked if the car could be repaired. He said no. He said, what was your reaction to your car being on fire? He said, what the fuck? And then they had an objection. They asked what the last time he saw Cassie was, and Cudi said in 2012 at the Soho house, I reached out to Sean so we could talk. who arranged the meeting. Cudi said, D-Rock and my manager, Dennis. We're at the Soho House. He said the first floor. He met D-Rock and he escorted him into the room. This was funny. He said that when he got into the room, Sean Combs was standing facing the window with his hands behind his back like a Marvel super villain. Everyone started laughing in the courtroom. In this meeting, Sean said that Cassie was still his girl and Cudi said that he didn't realize they were still involved. Also, Sean offered water to Cudi twice and was super calm, which was like very disruptive and disturbing to Cudi because that's like, it was just a strange way to act. He was like, why is he acting this way? At the end of the meeting, Cudi and Sean shook hands. Cudi looked him in the eye and said, so what are we going to do about my car? Because he said that was the only moment that they could be like face to face and he could just look at him and Sean couldn't get away. And Sean said, I don't know what you're talking about. And then Cudi was like, I'm done. And he was like, wait, I thought we were cool. You're saying that you didn't do anything to my car when I know you did. And a few years later, he saw him at the Soho House again, and Sean said, man, I just want to apologize for everything and all the bullshit, and Cudi felt at peace. Now we have to go into the cross-examination. I'm going to stop this video here, and I'm going to make a part 2, because this is so good. Cudi's testimony at the Diddy trial. This is the cross-examination, and the first question they asked was, you understood that fingerprints were taken back then, and you understand that the fingerprints came back female. And Cudi said, say what now, in quotation marks. He was like, excuse me. They rephrased the question and said, you understand no one affiliated with Sean Combs or Sean Combs was near your property that day. They objected, they sustained it, and he said that he had no knowledge of that though. Yes, you and Cassie had been talking every day for a year, and Cudi said, yes. They said, Cassie wasn't friends with you, she played you. He said, yes. They said, you've done incredible things with your career. He said, yes, but he was kind of embarrassed. He was like, don't be embarrassed. They asked, you did tour in Canada, and he was like, I think I did. They were like referencing back then, like in 2011, and they said the Cud Life tour, and he said, yes. They said, you played 65 dates that were not in LA, and he said, I don't know if it was 65. And then they said, Sean, at one of your concerts in 2011 asked if you would do a song with Cassie. He said, yes. And then he said that you and Cassie became close. He said, we were already cool. He said, you did things like exercise together. He said, like what? He said, hiking, and Kid Cudi was like, no. It was so funny. His responses were just like so short and to the point. It was entertaining. And he was like, you did drugs together? And Cudi said, like weed? I mean, we smoked some weed. You and Cassie had consensual sexual relations, and there was an objection and a significantly long sidebar. When they came back, Cudi clarified. He said, I don't think Sean asked me in 2011. It was actually 2010. They said that Cassie, for the past 4 years, said that she wasn't really talking with Mr. Combs, and Cudi said that wasn't really the conversation. We talked in Thanksgiving 2011 that they were having problems. And then they showed Cudi a police report, and he starts to read it. The prosecution objected because he wasn't supposed to like read it out loud. They asked, in 2011, did Cassie confide in you? He said yes. And then they reiterated that they spent Christmas together with his family, and he said yes. And they said, this was post the trespass into your home. They said yes. They said December 22nd, you believe you left your front door unlocked, so there was no real damage to your home. He said yes. They said Capricorn mentioned that Sean was not armed, and he agreed to that. Diddy was also like kind of nodding in the back, like in the courtroom, you could see him nodding. Cassie mentioned that there was physical abuse. Cudi said yes. Did she ever say that there was any sexual abuse? And Cudi said no. They asked, did you ever see Combs do anything inappropriate with her? No. Combs didn't know you were dating Cassie. He said true. Then he said the same person that played you played Sean Combs. They said true. They said 13 and a half years later, you haven't been notified of any action taken on your car, the car that burned. He said no. He said, did you know that Cassie had multiple phones? He said, I don't remember. And then they showed him a police report, and he was like, well, it says that I said it, and then I guess I said it. And they said she had multiple phones, and he said yes. They asked, what is a burner phone? He said, an untraceable phone. He said, you received a call saying that your address had been given out. And he said, from Cassie to Sean, yes. And then the prosecution came back and asked a few more questions, and they said, did Cassie confide in you about the... He said that she said he, as in Sean Combs, would hit and kick her. Cassie, they said, would you say that Cassie was carefree the day of the break-in? He said, no. They said, what did Capricorn say about getting into their car, and like Sean's team basically made her go to the break-in, like whatever, she was sitting in the car, but it was by force, and she was scared. What was Cassie scared of when she called you, as in Cudi? Sean had found out about us, and that he was scared because she had given out his address to Sean. And then they asked, why did you and Cassie break up? He said the drama was getting out of hand, and they wanted to give space to the situation. They asked, why were you concerned for your safety? He was like, because I knew Sean Combs was violent. And then they did another long sidebar. I don't think they wanted that to be on the record, but I think it is. And then they saw each other in person at the Soho House, and Sean said, I don't know what you're talking about in regards to the car. And then there was an objection. And then they asked, like, what did you think of that? And he was like, I knew he was lying. And that kind of sums up the Cudi testimony. It was so long, but it was like just so much information. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We're about to go back in from lunch, so
You're saying, you feel me? She broke it all down for you on what Kid Cudi was going into. I understand, as they was asking him different questions. You know what I'm saying? DDG and Soulja Boy, you know what I'm saying? DDG and Soulja Boy have been beefing because apparently Soulja Boy had something to say to DDG because he broke up with his girl and got this allegedly assaulted her. You know what I mean? Put his hands on her type shit. And Soulja Boy was coming to bat for her and talking all this shit about DDG due to him assaulting his girlfriend. Talking about you assaulted the little mermaid. You's a bitch. This and that. But now, so you know what I'm saying? They've been beefing and shit, wanting to set up a fight. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to set up a fight, a sanctions fight, wanting to box. Soulja Boy been calling this shit out. They said they would do it for $75K. Aiden Ross trying to set it up. DDG said he was down for the $75K, but he called out and said the Soulja Boy probably gonna say he want like 500 million or 500,000 or $1 million or some stupid shit like that. You feel me? DDG was saying, nigga, you ain't worth no $1 million, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And Soulja Boy did exactly that. You know what I mean? He said he want 500 or $1 million. He did exactly what DDG said. He called out that he was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So they was trying to get Aiden Ross to set it up. You know what I mean? Being that Aiden Ross just sponsored this little boxing event that just went on YouTube with all of the influencers and shit like that boxing each other. So this next little clip you about to see is just a video of the situation from academics breaking it all down between DDG and Soulja Boy. Check this clip out.
Don't give his bitch ass no subs. That nigga don't need shit. Don't give his ass no subs. He do that sub only because that's the only money he make. So he trying to fucking get some subs from niggas and shit. Don't give that nigga shit. And why you got his chat, bro? I wouldn't even pull his damn his fucking stream up. You got your people going over there. He think he doing something with that weak ass music. Man, please, Aiden. Please.
You wanna fight him for real?
I wanna fight his ass for real. Like, you know, I don't even like doing the boxing shit, bro. You know what I mean? Nigga, I'm in and out. But Soulja Boy, bro, set it up, please. Like, I know he don't want to fight. That's why I'm telling you. I guarantee you he gonna cop a plea.
Let me try for another couple more minutes. I'll call you right back.
Alright, but nigga is not like that, bro.
Just say that, nigga. I asked the nigga what the fuck he want, nigga.
Oh shit.
He said I'm trying to set the fight up. Bet we could have went from there. Nigga, stop playing on my motherfucking phone, nigga. If you want to fight, set the motherfucking fight up, nigga. Text and say that, nigga.
Ooh.
See your motherfucking offer, nigga. Send the paperwork, nigga. Fuck you FaceTime on my phone, playing on my phone for, nigga. Fuck I look like to you, nigga.
Hey, his hair, bro. He ain't had his needle today, bro. Don't even take that shit personal. He ain't had his needle today.
He signed a contract. He want to fight. What he say? He don't want to fight.
He said let me ask you a question. He said he's down to do, both of y'all get 75 bands, winner gets another 100.
75, man. That nigga cheap as hell, nigga. I need $1 million cash, nigga.
Drake,
Stupid ass, peon ass nigga talking about 75 bands. Nigga, don't ever try me like that, nigga. What the fuck? If nigga ain't got $1 million cash, nigga, that nigga better go suck dick on the side of the freeway, nigga, and kill himself, nigga. Fuck he talking about 75 bands. Man, get the fuck on my phone with this shit. Tell DDG I'ma beat him up for free.
Wait,
but you my nigga though, you my nigga. When they get $1 million at least minimum, then holler at me. 75 bands? I'll go beat them up for nothing. If that's the case.
Fuck, bro.
You saying, you know what I'm saying? I was academics breaking it all down for you, telling you about the beef between DDG and Soulja Boy. You know what I'm saying? Then we had Meek Mill, you know what I mean, had tweeted out and deleted some of the craziest shit that he said he seen at a Diddy party. He said he didn't see nothing too crazy, but he said it was a whole lot of coke vibes going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cocaine happening at these Diddy parties is what this nigga Meek Mill recently came out and said on a Twitter and then deleted the shit. You know what I'm saying? He said the craziest shit he seen was a whole lot of cocaine, whole lot of drugs being done and being took. You feel me? Whole lot of coke vibes as he explained it. You know what I'm saying? So this next little clip clip you about to see is just Drip News breaking down the situation on how he said that it was a bunch of coke vibes at these Diddy parties. Check this clip out. So as you seen, you know what I'm saying, that was telling you that is the deleted tweet said it was coke vibes at these Diddy parties. In other news, back on the Diddy case, his assistant named George Kaplan, somebody used to work for Diddy, is set to testify, but he only would testify unless he was granted immunity. He was saying he was going to come to court and plead the fifth when he was subpoenaed to be testified. He said he was going to plead the fifth. And they said, nigga, nah, we don't want you to plead the fifth. We want you to really get up there and testify. So we'll grant you immunity if you come and testify against Diddy. You know what I mean? So he had been granted immunity. That means whatever he say, the prosecutors can't prosecute him for anything illegal that he may say have happened. You know what I mean? And that was the only way he was going to come and testify if he got granted immunity, and he did that. So he came and testified in court and said a lot of things about the freak-offs. He said he was there. Eventually, he started preparing the rooms for the freak-offs and then coming in and cleaning up after the freak-offs was done. You know what I'm saying? So he goes detail, talk about shit he may have seen and all that shit on the stand. You know what I'm saying? So this next little clip you're about to see is of Khadisha Lynn. It's about 3 videos. I'm gonna blend them together because she speaks on this dude George Kaplan in 3 different shots. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna blend these 3 videos in, and you're gonna see the whole video, but I'm gonna blend them all into one. Check this clip out.
Former assistant George Kaplan is the next person testifying against Diddy, and his testimony today won't be very long, so I'll recap all of it in tomorrow's video, but just what he dropped already is pretty crazy. He said that he would report to Diddy's ex-chief of staff, Christina Korm, and she ran Diddy's life. He said his job started off carrying Diddy's bags, but when Diddy started to trust him, he started to have him setting up hotel rooms for the freak-offs. They asked him in what cities would he set up these freak-offs in these hotels, and he said New York, LA, and Miami. He said that the rooms were always rented in the name Frank Black, and that Diddy got this alias from Biggie being named Frank White. He claimed when Diddy was in these rooms doing these freak-offs, he would reach out to him for food and a ton of illegal substances. He then said that after Diddy was done in these hotels with these freak-offs, it was also his job to clean everything up. They asked him why it was his job to clean it up instead of the hotel staff, and he said it was to keep Diddy's life private because he didn't want anybody to know about these freak-offs. He said that Diddy would threaten his job probably once a month and tell him that he only had the best people working around him. Now, this is where his testimony ended for today because court only had a few minutes left, but I will talk about his full testimony tomorrow, but it's already crazy. Y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. Former assistant George Kaplan was just granted immunity to testify against Diddy. And this means he could potentially be one of Diddy's co-conspirators who is about to flip on him. George came in before lunch and he told the judge that he planned to invoke his Fifth Amendment right to not say anything on the stand unless he signed the immunity agreement offered by the government. The judge had him read over the immunity agreement and all of the details in it, and then he proceeded to sign it. So that means that George Kaplan is about to take the stand after Don Hughes' testimony. And whatever this man is about to say is self-incriminating upon himself. So for him to say it, he wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to get brought in as one of Diddy's co-conspirators. And I've said this for the longest because I've watched the court docs. I knew that the feds were going after some of these co-conspirators and offering them deals to flip on Diddy. It's things that we see in a lot of high-profile cases, but now we're seeing it against Diddy. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. Diddy is giving his cross-examination testimony against Diddy. Diddy's lawyer Brian Steele said, "I want to ask you some questions about your Porsche in 2022 in 2012. I apologize. You get a call about damage to your vehicle. Any surveillance photos? No. My dog's babysitter did send me pictures of the damage. The DNA taken, are you aware that it came back being a female and the government objects and the judge sustained it? Do you know that there were DNA results? No. Cassie Ventura told you it was over? We just stopped talking. You told this honorable court and this jury that she played you? Yes. She played you and you had no clue? No clue. In 2011, you went on tour? Yes. 65 locations? Yeah. At that time, Sean Combs was an icon. Fair to say? Yes. You and Miss Ventura had a physical relationship? Objection. And then there's a sidebar. Kid Cudi then says, Mr. Steele, can I? And the judge said, no, you can do that on redirect. Brian Steele then says, do you want to tell me something? Sean Combs asked about me doing a song with Miss Ventura in 2010. Thank you. You believe they left your front door unlocked? Yes. No forced entry? No. Just the presence opened and the door in the bathroom? I'm not belittling, just asking. You called Sean Combs? Yeah. Was he calm? Yes. You went to see him. You didn't think he had a weapon? I couldn't call it. You're a strong person. That's how you categorize yourself? Yeah. This crossed the line. Miss Ventura told you that she was abused? Yes. She never said that she was SA'd, true? She did not. You loved her? Tell me if I'm wrong. I did. You got played by the same person who played Mr. Combs, Cassie Ventura. In the 13 years since this has happened, have you ever been notified in California that there has been any more action on this car fire? No. Did Miss Ventura have multiple phones? I don't remember. Then Brian Steele shows Kid Cudi an exhibit and he says, if I said it, I said it. Do you know what a burner phone is? Untraceable. The trespassing. You call it a break-in. Cassie Ventura told you that she had given your home address to Mr. Combs? Yes, in the morning. No more questions. And then it gets redirected back to the government. What did Cassie Ventura confide in you about? Abuse? That he would hit her, sometimes kick her. The day of the break-in, was she carefree? No. What did Capricorn Clark tell you? Sean Combs and an affiliate forced her into a car to come to my house. I called the police. Kid Cudi just confirmed that the female victim that Diddy kidnapped is Capricorn Clark. And I am about to do a whole video on this later and it's about to be a good one. How would you describe Cassie that day? Just really shook. Him finding out about us. Why did your relationship with Cassie Ventura end? The drama. It was getting out of hand. I wanted to give it space. What drama? The break-in for my safety and her safety. Diddy's lawyer Brian Steele says objection. The judge asked for the grounds and he said speculation and the judge overruled it. Why do you have safety concerns? Because I knew Sean Combs was violent. The meeting at the Soho house, Mr. Combs said, I don't know what you're talking about your car. Did you believe him? Brian Steele objects again and the judge says rephrase. What was your understanding of that situation? That he was lying. And this is the end of Kid Cudi's cross-examination testimony and he is completely done. But we are about to talk about this kidnapping that's connected to Kid Cudi's home, which now is confirmed to have obviously been Capricorn Clark, Diddy's ex-assistant. And I got a good one coming up for you guys a little bit later. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Kadisha Lynn breaking down the George Kaplan situation. He was a former assistant for Diddy. You know what I'm saying? He came forward and testified. She broke down all the courts and everything they was asking them and all that. You know what I'm saying? Chris Brown. You know what I mean? Chris Brown finally been released. You know what I mean? He was in jail in England. He been released under for after paying 7 M's, 6 point something million. You know what I'm saying? He paid the bail and he has been released from the jails in England. You know what I'm saying? So this next little clip you about to see is just telling you how he paid that $7 million and bailed himself out there in England. It goes into a little bit of detail of what happened as he got in jail. We all should know and remember, but the shit is gonna tell you in this next clip a little bit about what happened and why he was in jail in England. You know what I'm saying? The video starts to glitch in the audio again. You know what I mean? I don't know what's up with these AIs, but they start to like speaking a little weird and shit like that, but you gonna hear it. I think she even starts speaking another language. I don't know, but it's very brief and then it picks back up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the deal is with that shit, but yeah, you know what I mean? It glitches out a little bit in the audio. You know what I'm saying? Check this clip out.
Being released on an eye-watering £5 million bail after being charged over an alleged bottle attack at a nightclub in London. The incident dates back to February 2023 at Tape nightclub in Mayfair, where music producer Abe Dior claims Brown assaulted him with a bottle, causing serious injuries. The singer, who's now 36, was arrested last Thursday in Manchester just hours after flying in on a private jet and checking into the five-star Lorry Hotel in Salford. Even though he's now facing a charge of grievous bodily harm, Brown's been allowed to continue with his 20-year anniversary world tour, but under very strict conditions. His passport is being held by police and can only be accessed for scheduled tour dates. When that happens, it'll be passed from police to his UK lawyers, then on to a US attorney, who'll keep it during his American leg of the tour. After that, it returns to the UK authorities. The judge did question whether £5 million was enough to make sure Brown doesn't flee, asking for more details about his actual net worth. A case management hearing has been set for October 24th. Until then, he's banned from contacting witnesses, co-defendants, or even stepping foot near tape night.
As you see, you know what I mean? I was just letting you know what I'm saying? He placed that bill, 6-point-something million, and he's out of there, you know what I'm saying? So the bowl tour, whatever it's called that he's on, will continue, and he will be at those future dates that he got planned and booked for, you know what I'm saying? So that's everything we touched on today. It was 5 topics today, you know what I'm saying? 5 topics, brought you 5 subjects in the news, you know what I mean? Today we touched on Kid Cudi. Took the stand, testified against Diddy, said a lot about his house being robbed and his Porsche being set ablaze in front of his house, and they did something to his dog. Touched on DDG and Soulja Boy beefing. You know what I'm saying? DDG Soulja Boy, I guess, didn't like the fact that he had assaulted his girlfriend, the little chick who played Little Mermaid, Halle Bailey. We also touched on Meek Mill, said the craziest shit he seen at a Diddy party was a whole lot of cocaine vibes, is what Meek Mill said. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst thing that he said, the craziest shit he seen at a Diddy party, you know what I mean? Then we had we touched on Diddy's assistant, George Kaplan, kind of testified against Diddy, and only if the courts would grant him immunity. That means the prosecutors can't prosecute him for nothing that he might say that was illegal. And he was only going to testify if he got that immunity, because otherwise he said he was going to plead the fifth. We also touched on Chris Brown being released, paying that 7 M's. He was in jail out there in England. Paid that 6-point-something, almost 7 million to get himself released. And he is now a free man. But that's everything we touched on today. You know what I'm saying? Now for the closing thoughts. You feel me? So Kid Cudi took the stand. You know what I'm saying? He ended up taking the stand. A lot of people said he wasn't going to do it. Nigga said he was done with the music industry, done with all that shit. I think Diddy had an influence on him saying that he's done with the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Now, I wonder what the fuck they did to his dog, though. You know what I mean? He said his dog was hella flinchy and hella jittery and shit after the incident. They locked the dog in the goddamn bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what they could have did. Could have booted him in the face. Could have booted him in the stomach, hurt the dog, put him in the bathroom. Whatever they did something, because he was still spooked and flinchy and jumping and shit and jittery and all that shit after the incident. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what his goons or himself could have did to the dog. You know what I'm saying? That shit's wild. You know what I mean? A lot of people thought Kid Cudi wasn't even going to show up, but he definitely showed up, you know what I'm saying, and spoke on the shit that we all wanted him to speak on, which was the car being set ablaze and people coming to rob his house and all that shit. You know what I mean? He said Diddy was looking like a super villain. Nigga was just in his house when he called him to confront him. The nigga was in his house. You know what I'm saying? Just looking out the window with his hands behind his back like a kingpin or something. Shit wild. DDG and Soulja Boy got this beef. Soulja Boy is apparently voicing his opinion and calling DDG a bitch because of these alleged assault charges that Halle Bailey is putting on him. Now, Soulja, how the fuck is you getting mad at wanting to fight this nigga DDG? Like, you don't have your own charges, my nigga. What the fuck? The judge just granted you to pay $4 million, my nigga, because you were kidnapping the chick and cut her up and hit her and all kind of shit, pointing Dracos at her and all that shit. So how the fuck is you coming to Halle Bailey's bat and you got the same type of bullshit, drama type of domestic shit yourself dealing with a female? You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand how you calling out DDG wanting to fight him and all that shit, and you got your own same type of cases. The sexual assault and all that shit. Kidnapping was even mentioned on you. And you mad at DDG for this alleged assault that a lot of people saying is bullshit? I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? You either looking for clout or looking for a bag or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? But that shit's different. You know what I'm saying? You got your own shit and you coming to bat for her, calling DDG a bitch. And you put your hands on Little Mermaid, nigga, you's a bitch. That what he said? That shit crazy. When you got kidnapping and assault charges yourself that you got to pay 4 M's for that you just came out of court for. Shit wild as fuck. I thought that shit was wild as fuck. Aiden Ross threw a little boxing match. I definitely seen that. Soulja Boy need to get up in it. You know what I mean? Go ahead and get up in it. Stop asking for all that money. You know what I'm saying? Wanting $1 million and shit like that. Man, if you just want to fight the nigga, just fight the nigga. You know what it got to be a bag for? You know what I'm saying? You big and bad, ain't you? Meek Mill said the craziest shit he ever seen at a Diddy party was a whole lot of cocaine vibes. That shit don't surprise me, man. They Diddy parties, you feel me? There a whole lot of drugs going on. I'm sure cocaine ain't the only drug that's happening and vibing at these Diddy parties, you feel me? It's definitely a whole lot of slew of drugs that be going on at these Diddy parties, you know what I'm saying? And I know you seen way more than that, you feel me? Like, you put the tweet out and then deleted it, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why these motherfuckers put a tweet out and then delete it like a motherfucker ain't gonna catch it, you know what I'm saying? You got millions of motherfuckers following you, and you think you could put a tweet out and delete it before anybody see the shit? I don't understand why these motherfucking celebrities be deleting tweets and shit, man. Somebody gonna catch it, screenshot it, and we gonna know about it anyway. You know what I mean? Just stop deleting shit. I don't know why you deleted it. Then you didn't even say nothing too bad. You know what I mean? Nothing that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We know these Diddy parties be cooked full of drugs and coke heads and coke vibes and shit. We know that. You wasn't giving us no new information with that shit, Meek, for you to be deleting the tweet and all that. You know what I mean? We don't give a fuck. Shit, man, we already know that it be cocaine vibes at these parties. You feel me? Y'all niggas are celebrities and high up celebrities in the industry. Of course, it is cocaine vibes at Diddy parties for sure. You know what I mean? So the fact you said that, I don't know. A little pointless. You know what I'm saying? His assistant, George Kaplan, came. You know what I mean? Dude said he used to set up the rooms and shit like that before the free calls to come in here and clean them up and all that type of shit after the free calls was done. You know what I'm saying? Dude said he wasn't going to say shit. He said, I'm going to plead the fifth on that motherfucker. And they said, nah, nigga, we want you to talk, nigga, so you can get it. We'll grant you immunity if you come and speak, testify against this nigga. So he signed the paperwork, got that immunity, you know what I mean? Can't be touched, can't be prosecuted for anything that he might say that's illegal or any criminal activity. Can't be charged for it, you know what I mean? I don't blame him for that. Shit, he the only one, the first one to do that. So, goddamn it, I want immunity if you want me to come up here and talk. Shit, I ain't about to incriminate myself by saying something that I might not know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Then y'all, next thing you know, y'all trying to cuff me up, put me in jail with the court lingo and all that shit. Nah, I want immunity first to make sure that y'all not gonna prosecute me. I ain't mad at him for that, you know what I'm saying? That's a fact. Should I have did the same shit? You can't trust these niggas. Especially Diddy, you can't trust him, you feel me? Yeah, he playing dirty pool, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'd have been on the same type of time. Give me immunity first before I get up here and talk. Don't prosecute me for nothing that I might say. Right, I ain't mad at him, you know what I mean? But Chris Brown, you know what I'm saying? Chris Brown put that 7 M's up. You feel me? We all know he was going to take a little plea or something or settle out or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, these celebrities is rich. As soon as the dollar figure come, they paying that and they out of there. Look at Rod Wave. Got arrested yesterday. 14 counts, felony charges. 14 of them. And the nigga bailed himself out the same day and was out of there. You know what I'm saying? So these celebrities got that put up bread, you feel me? M's just put aside for shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, he just had that shit sitting around. 7 M's. You know what I'm saying? He just said, oh, okay, cool, I'm out. How much you want? 7 million? For sure, I'm out. Just paid that shit and he out of there, you know what I mean? So shout out to Chris Brown, you know what I'm saying, for getting out that England situation. Ain't nothing like being in jail in a whole ass place that you ain't from. You don't know no motherfucking body, you feel me? And everybody talking to you with accents and shit. That shit must have been wild as fuck, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to Chris Brown, he free. Paid that $7 million, he out of there, you know what I mean? So now he can continue his tour and shit like that, which is dope. Get your bread, you know what I'm saying? Now he can get paid as the artist he is, you know what I mean? But yeah, though, that was my closing thoughts on these 5 topics today, you know what I mean? There's a whole lot going on, you know what I'm saying? But thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching, you feel me? We all know you could have been doing anything you wanted to do in the world, no matter who you are, whether you's a little brother, a little sister, whether you's a little niece, a nephew, whether you's an uncle, an auntie, whether you's a grandma, a grandpa, a mother, a father, you know what I'm saying, the little cousin, the older cousin, you know what I mean, whoever you may be. And if y'all got pets and y'all sit there and your pet is watching Kons podcast with you, whether your pet, you can have a pet hedgehog, you know what I'm saying, you can have a pet hog, a pet pig, you can have a pet snake, you can have a pet alligator, you can have a pet crocodile, you feel me, you can have a pet bird, a pet parrot, you know what I'm saying, you can have a pet bearded dragon, a pet lizard, you feel me, whoever your pet may be. If he watching or she is watching Kons podcast, I definitely fucks with him like you see my nigga saluting you. Scrolling up the screen, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. You feel me? As you just seen my emoji nigga, my emoji homie, the homie emoji, the nigga, the emoji nigga, the nigga emoji. Scrolling up the screen, you feel me? But yeah, though, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, though, you know what I'm saying? See y'all next episode, you feel me? Enjoy this beat that you hear creeping up in the background, you know what I'm saying? Enjoy this slapping ass beat and enjoy my final little thoughts on these said subjects, you feel me? Little final thoughts I put in the credits, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Hit the share button, comment on this shit, hit the like button, you feel me? Share this shit out, you know what I mean? Put it on whatever platform you got. Share this shit to that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Enjoy this beat, enjoy these credits, you know what I'm saying? I'll see y'all next episode, you feel me?
Constant content.
Hate me, don't you?
Kons motherfucking podcast.
Hate me, don't you?
Constant motherfucking content.
Hate me, don't you? Hate me, don't you? Hate me, don't you? Don't you? You hate me, 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 don't you? Hate me, don't you? You 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 hate me, don't you?